but it was a really tough game. And what can I say?
Yes, indeed.
He played really well for his rating.
How to defeat online chess cheaters by Magnus Carlsen. In this game, Magnus Carlsen is playing against a player with 2100 chess rating in Blitz Banter in Chess24 website. He kicks off with knight f3 reti opening, and his opponent responds with pawn to f5, the Dutch opening. Okay, d3, a very good opening choice by Magnus Carlsen. He wants to play e4. And in this position, black should not play knight f6, but look at the time usage of his opponent. He thinks a lot for the second move of the game. He thinks a lot. It's a 5-minute chess game and he plays knight to f6. And now suddenly Magnus goes e4. Knight f6 is not the best choice, but e4, perhaps his opponent is setting the pieces on another board or another phone or something. e4 takes e4 takes e4. White sacrifices a pawn for development, for gaining time. So now white is threatening to push pawn to e5, and here Magnus's opponent is thinking a lot to just take a simple pawn or do another decision. So okay, he plays knight takes e4, but now bishop d3 so fastly by Magnus Carlsen. At this point, Magnus doesn't know that his opponent is a cheater. So he plays d5, a very strong move. If the knight went back, it was a very passive move. But d5, now white can castle, can play knight g5 even in this position. But Magnus prefers to go to endgames. He always wants to go to good endgames. So now he trades queens. And for this simple move, he thinks a lot. Like just to king takes d8. It's a very simple move to play, but he has to check it. Every single move he has to check. And now in this position, Carlsen is deciding between knight d5 or knight g5, and eventually he plays knight g5. Okay, king e8 is the only move. Let's see. Okay, finally he plays it. Knight to c3. So far, nothing so special from the black pieces. It's not a very good opening, and it seems like that white can win this game very easily. Magnus is teaching a lesson to a club chess player, like bishop f5, and in this position black is trying to develop the pieces. Bishop f4 by Magnus Carlsen, attacking the c7 pawn. He wants to take the pawn with the bishop. And now where everybody is going to defend, now his opponent plays knight c6, and Magnus says that my opponent is disrespectful to me. Whatever I attack, he doesn't defend. And he says this is a good strategy in chess when you're not paying attention to your opponent's threats. Now, bishop takes c7 is not good, but the main thing is knight d5 is in the air, and black's only move is e5 after that, and knight takes pawn, king moves to d7, knight takes a8, pawn takes f4, and at the end of the variation, black can trap that knight in the corner of the game. So this is why Magnus Carlsen is hesitating, and at the end he decides to just simply castle. Now pawn to e5, his opponent pushes in the center. He's going to punish Magnus Carlsen. Carlsen comes back, but you can see that little by little his opponent is coming back to the game. Alexandra K. We don't have any information on him. Knight takes e4. Now Magnus wins the pawn. Black cannot castle because his king moved. Otherwise his position was good. He has two bishops, but in this position it's very hard for a human being to play these positions with black. But he's going to trade the rooks. He's going to eliminate the pieces. And now Magnus reinforced the knight on e4. He wants to have a good control over the center. And now let's see how he's going to play. Knight d4, another jump. He's playing so good against Magnus Carlsen. But you can see that for every single move, he takes a certain amount of time. It's not like if it's a difficult position, if it's an easy position, his opponent is just playing it in like the range of 5 seconds to 15 seconds. It's like more than 5 seconds to 10 seconds. Most of cheaters are doing this this way. So king f7, now he improved the king's position, and now Magnus is not sure what to do, but he's a so powerful chess player that he finds the best moves. He plays rook d2. I guess by this point Magnus realized that his opponent is a little bit stronger than his rating. Like at 2100, not collapsing in that opening position, and now he's even better. Now h6, a very, very thematic grandmaster move. It's a super grandmaster move. He improves his position little by little. He's just not caring about Magnus Carlsen. So, but Magnus is also playing at Stackfish level. His accuracy in this game is near to 99%. It's very strange. Can you guess how much is the accuracy of his opponent? At the end of the video, I will show it to you. Knight to f2. Now Magnus plays not the best move. He wants to regroup the knight to d3 and the other knight to e4. He wants to do this, and let's see how many seconds it takes for his opponent to take a decision. I told you it's most likely between 5 seconds, okay, to 15-20 seconds. Now he plays bishop b4. He's not getting to deep thinkings. Now knight d3. Magnus is counting on this option, that if he takes on c3, I'll take on e5, and it's a very good position. But his opponent is smarter than that. He takes the knight. It doesn't allow Magnus Carlsen to trick him. So now rook takes d3, and this is a very hard move, and look how he finds it. This is the hardest move to find in this game, that knight c6. And during the game, Magnus was saying that my opponent is a very, very strong player, like knight back to c6 in 2100 level. It's a very hard thing to do. I mean, this move is from another level. Now he wants to trade the rooks, and he had bishop takes c3 in mind, so Magnus has to double, and he was not happy about his position. Like he let the advantage slip away, and then now his opponent is trying to neutralize Magnus's possibilities. And now bishop takes c3, very important decision, preventing knight d4. And now look how he plays. Like he's improving his position very strangely. Like the next move also, like this, also this time usage is repeated. Now a5, it's a very strange move. Like who plays a5? You probably play king e6 or something, but you play a5, and after that you cannot play b6 because there is rook c3. So in this position he goes rook to b8. Like it's a very, very mysterious kind of play. a4, now black starts to push in this position, but Magnus, I mean, he is a superhuman being. He plays against engines this good. Now king to e6, his opponent is trying to activate the king, and Magnus realized that, okay, I couldn't finish this guy off so easily, so it's a very hard thing to do. And now pawn to g5 by his opponent. He wants to improve the position, and his opponent should be in a big shock, because I'm using one of the best chess engines in the world, and I'm not even better against Magnus Carlsen. And now Carlsen wants to trick his opponent. He wants to, if king d6, king d7, I'll play rook c4, and then I'll put the rook on g4, and then I'll play h4. But his opponent also prevents that. He plays king to d5. With king to d5, he prevents everything. So now b3, rook c4, h4 is the plan. But look at his opponent's time. So now you might understand that what's Magnus Carlsen's strategy. Rook e8, a very deep move, and here he prepared this trick to Magnus Carlsen. And even if he prepared it, he doesn't play it so fastly, because he has to check it. Knight d4. Now if you take, he will take with the pawn with check, and then c5 comes. So Magnus basically cannot take this knight. He should play king d3, and now pawn to c5 is coming. And now the Magnus rook is trapped. But look how Magnus is playing so fastly. Now knight take b3 is the most obvious move, but his opponent realized that Magnus has h4 and goes and plays knight f5 to prevent h4. Another shocking move, but look at the time. Magnus is working on his opponent's time. He plays bishop f2. He has 1 minute more than him, almost 1 minute. Knight d6. If there was no g4 square, and now look at this move. This is the first computer choice, and how you can come to this move. This is a king to back to e6. These backward moves are the best. Now h4, and the position is almost equal, but his opponent's time is ticking. And yeah, he's going to flag him. And now Magnus says, what can I do? He played better than his rating. He played obviously much better than. So this is how Magnus defeated his opponent. Let's go and watch the game from the beginning of the game with the chessboard. Magnus is playing the Reti opening, and now d3, e4. Magnus is mentioning in that video that I played this opening against Dolmatov when I was a child, and I beat him very good in this position. So knight f6. e4 takes. Magnus sacrifices the pawn, and now bishop to d3, attacking this knight. If knight goes back, then white has lots of attacks like knight d5, knight g5, knight h7, even in some variations. So d5, here probably knight g5 was better, but Magnus transposed to ending, and he plays this position. And this is where you can, no, not bishop f5, of course, his opponent plays king e8. And for simple decisions like king takes d8, d takes e4, he was taking his time. This is how you can understand that your opponent is probably cheating in the game. Bishop f5, bishop f4, and knight c6 was the disrespectful move to Magnus Carlsen, because Carlsen wanted to play this, but then he realized that his opponent set up this trap to him. And this position, this knight is going to be hanging, and black is going to win the game. So he decides to not play this. But then he plays what at this position? Magnus plays bishop f4, and after knight c6 he plays a long castle, and now e5, gaining tempo, bishop b7. Very, very interesting player. Rook d8, best move once again. Knight d4, b6 was also good, but he was choosing between the first and second line of engine, most probably. Now king f7, another good move. h6, another very good move. And here bishop b4. Bishop h4 was also good to pin this knight, but okay, bishop b4 is more. He was also maybe somehow careful to choose what to choose. Knight to d3. So now Magnus is relying on this variation, and it will be a very good position, but his opponent is just going to eliminate this one, and this is one of the toughest moves to find. I mean, who plays knight c6 in this position? And now Magnus was stuck at this position. His opponent managed to play like this, rook b8, and then he activates the king. Now rook c3, he finds the best. And now this knight d4 check. Knight f5, once again the best move. And at the end of the game, this king e6 was also was very, very interesting. And at the end of the game, his opponent flagged, or his time ran out. Like it's not that Magnus flagged him. He thought so much for every single move, and he resigned the game. So the way to again play against these opponents, if you realize that they are a cheater, first of all, play safely, play into safe positions. End games are better. Continue the game as long as possible. Do not go into tactical battles, because you're not going to defeat a computer in tactical battles. And then try to play fastly. Try to play as fastly as possible. Recently, I also played against a chess cheater that I'm going to upload that video also to you in my chess challenge to reach 2600 on rapid chess. I hope that I can also manage that video as soon as possible. Hope you enjoyed it, and please write down in the comments what do you think about this game, and what do you think about chess cheating in online games in general. How can we stop it? Enjoy chess and life.